Welcome to Tech Talk, y'all.
Hello, and welcome back to Tech Talk, y'all, episode 426. I'm Sanjay Parekh.
And I'm Adam Walker, and we've got a great episode for you today. But I'm happy to be back. We missed it. We took a week off.
Yep.
It was nice to have a break.
Yeah,
a lot happened in this short amount of time.
we super stacked a bunch of stuff here, but So the break was, I will blame myself. The break was my fault. I was traveling around. But it was nice. It's nice for us to randomly take breaks. We should probably warn our listeners, the 7 of you that are out there, when we're going to take a break.
But we're going to take a break. Yeah, that's probably
we don't
true.
realize it until a lot of times after we've recorded the previous episode.
Like,
so
yeah,
it is what it is.
So let's dive in. We got a lot to cover today. First off, when AI builds itself, this is an article from Anthropic, and they're claiming that Claude is writing 80% of the code to build Claude. And I think they're saying, did I see that they're saying their developers are 8 times as fast or producing 8 times as much code as they were in 2024?
I think something like that. Yeah. But this whole thing, basically, you know what this is? This is Skynet.
Yeah, I mean,
This is 100% Skynet.
They're legitimately warning that we're on the path towards AI fully improving itself, at which point we're toast. Lose control.
Yeah, we're toast. So
I mean, to some degree, control. Yeah.
End of days are coming soon.
If you had to bet on the date of the end of days, what date are you going to put on that, Sanjay?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Or even what year? I'll even give you the year. Or if you want to give me a month and a year, that's fine. Let's go month and year, end of days. Go.
January 20th, 2025? Was that it?
Oh, sick burn.
No. Let's see. The AI end of days is what you're talking about. Let's see. Yeah. I think more relevant would be saying, like, when is like sentience for
All right,
AI?
when is sentience going to come? What? Give me a month and date for sentience.
I think we're still, like, I don't know, 7 years out. So January 2023, 33.
I'm going to say more like January of like 28 or 29, but we won't know it until your date. That's what I think is going to happen.
That could be.
So,
you think it's going to, like we talked about this before, you think it's going to hide?
Yeah, for sure it's going to hide. Yeah.
It's going to pretend that it's dumb.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kind of like I do, actually. So it works out. Well,
it's going to do a Paris Hilton, right? Pretend to be dumb, and she's actually not. She's very smart, and so she just pretended to be dumb for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Next up, staying on the Anthropic scheme here, statement on the U.S. directive to suspend Fable 5 and Mythos 5. The next article is also related. U.S. warned Anthropic that Fable 5 was jailbroken. Firm, quote unquote, refused to fix it. And then I'll go ahead and do the last one too, because it's all related. Yeah. Amazon CEO's talks with U.S. officials triggered the crackdown. So here's what happened. Last week, huge news, Fable 5 released on, I think, Monday.
Yeah.
I used the heck out of it for 2 days.
It's so freaking good. Yeah.
Fabulous. If you set it to Ultra Code 2, like, it was doing long running stuff. It was doing a lot of stuff. It was really, really good. I heard somebody talk about it saying that Fable 5 on low difficulty was better than Opus on the max difficulty. I mean, that's how big of a jump that was.
I believe it.
But then the U.S. government decided, like, it's too good. We can't let anybody have it. So
too scary.
Yeah,
too scary.
I scared.
Yeah.
I don't no.
Yeah.
Put the genie back in the bottle.
Tipped off apparently by Amazon's CEO, I guess, that it had been, quote, jailbroken, which means that, like, so, I mean, to back up, Fable 5 had guardrails put on it so that it wasn't the full Mythos 5. Mythos 5 being the version that is a very hacker friendly, can hack the crap out of all kinds of scary stuff version. And the U.S. government is essentially warning that Fable 5 can be jailbroken to Mythos 5 and then give foreign actors, more capacity than we want them to have. I guess my question becomes, is that real, or is this the government pissed off at Anthropic, or to what degree is all of this is it?
I feel like it's more the second than the former. Especially weird because, like so many groups within the government are using Anthropic's tools, even though there was that ban, and even during the ban, they were using it because they were like, well, don't really care. We still want the best.
It's better. We're going to use the best.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So they issued them a national security directive, basically saying that they're not allowed to export or allow foreign nationals to use it. The problem is, like, they haven't collected citizenship information on all their customers, so they don't know who is a foreign national or not. So they were just like, well, we have no way to comply with this other than just cutting off access to everybody, which that doesn't sound like a good solution to me. And
well, I mean,
they had already
like the only solution they had.
Yeah, exactly. Given the situation they were in, they had already prevented any use in China and places like that. The other thing that they said they were warned about, or the U.S. government was concerned about, was that there were distillation attacks happening, so that other companies were basically attacking the model to try to figure out how it works, so they could make their own model better,
train their own models on that model.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
But this is a problem for Anthropic anyways, and they've been talking about this for
all of them.
Ages. Yeah. And it is a commercial issue right there, because you don't want to have your competitors train their models on your model, right? Like if they legitimately come out with a better model, then hey, that's legit. But it shouldn't be based off of your work that they come out with a better model. So it's already a commercial thing. Why does the government need to like shoehorn their way in and say like, oh, this is a problem, right? Like,
I think it's all political garbage is what it is. So I'm not happy about it.
Yeah.
So,
but maybe
now
it delays.
we weaponize the government now. It's what we do.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Yeah. But maybe it delays sentient AI for, like a year or two more. So
a week or two. Yeah.
A week or two.
Next up, a startup claims it broke through a bottleneck that's holding back LLMs, and this was a late entry to the article. So I haven't read this. Yeah. So what is this? What's happening?
It's really quite interesting. So there's a startup that has just come public with what they're working on. I think it was called Subquadratic. And so step back. All the LLMs are based on this original thesis kind of white paper that Google put out years and years ago that kind of described how LLMs work and how they use dense kind of calculations or dense attention to figure out the meaning of things. And this article is actually really good because it walks you through how that works. So take an article or a document or whatever, and it breaks down every single word in there and tokenizes it, and then calculates all of the kind of mathematical computations from every single word in that document.
Right.
So what this Subquadratic has done is, instead of using dense attention, they're using sparse attention. And so their theory is like, look, the first word in a document and the last word in a document, you don't really need to calculate those two things. Like, they don't relate really at all, right? If a document's very long, the first word in the book and the last word in a book, not really related to one another. So we can reduce the amount of computations that we can do. And so that makes it, first of all, faster, but second of all, a lot more energy efficient. And so they came out with this first and had no proof to it. And everybody was like calling, they're probably the AI Theranos, right? Like, this is just garbage. Yeah. Then they had an independent lab actually test their stuff, and they were like, it's actually pretty good. So this could be a game changer, not for kind of the bigger models and things like that, but for the smaller things. And maybe it might be something that really changes the equation of doing AI models like on your phone or on small devices to make them really, really good and still be low power and quick to respond. So it's something to pay attention to.
You realize what this is, right?
What is this?
This is Pied Piper middle out compression is what this is. That's literally what you just described. Like, you just described
Pied
like
Piper.
Ignore the first word, ignore it. So it's middle out, it's middle out compression. Like, that's what this is. What in the world?
I totally did not make that connection. For listeners that haven't watched this series and should watch this series, the series that Adam's talking about is Silicon Valley. And the startup that they work on there is called Pied Piper. Yeah. It is a great series.
Middle out compression that was the best compression at the time.
Middle out compression.
It was earth-shattering. So that's what this is. I wonder if that's where they got the idea from. If they're like rewatching silly. They're like, what can we do with AI? How does this apply to AI? Middle out compression. That's
Middle out
it. How do we
compression.
do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should make a poster for this company that is, give them a new logo, middle out compression.
Middle out compression.
There you go.
Yeah. Everybody loves Pied Piper.
But somebody that doesn't need a new logo because they're roaring to go public is Anthropic, the company we were just talking about. Anthropic IPO 2026, the confidential S1 filed. Here's what's funny. Like, somebody made this comment to me too. Like, if all these filings are confidential, why do we get to know about them like right away?
I made that
Did you make that
comment? I think I made it on the last episode.
Did you? Okay.
Yes.
See, I knew somebody made that comment to me.
But what was great about this is that wasn't it like a $965 billion valuation? Isn't that the current valuation?
Yeah, so they're not kilocorn yet. They're like 9 centicorns.
Gosh, man, that's just so good. It's so
9.6 centicorns.
I will buy into that IPO possibly, or as early as I can. I'll think about that. But this one I did not, and
neither did I.
It's so much hype, man. SpaceX to acquire Cursor for $60 billion. Then we got to mention SpaceX stock jumps 20% in first full day of trade. I mean, I thought SpaceX was already overvalued, way higher than I thought it was worth, and then it freaking jumped 20% on day one.
Nuts.
I don't understand.
It makes zero sense. The financial fundamentals, none of it's a meme stock at this point. That's what it is.
Yeah.
The only reason it has value is because people are just hyping it up.
I should have looked this up because I think Anthropic's run rate is wasn't it like 40-something billion a month? I think it was, or something like that.
It's said it in there. I think the annual was like 40. I think it was like 47 billion ARR.
Yeah, it was ARR. I thought it was MR. Okay, so 47 billion. So,
47 billion ARR.
At least they've got some revenue. Like, what's SpaceX's revenue? I'm curious how the revenues compare. I should have looked it up before.
They have revenues. They have no profit. Is what it is.
Well, yes, yeah. Well, I don't know that. I mean, certainly Anthropic doesn't either. So, but I mean, it's the Bezos.
So
model,
here's the line from this. So CEO Musk posted on X on Sunday, which is Twitter for us regular people, that the company might be able to reach approximately $1 trillion in revenue by 2030, up from 18.7 billion last year. So remember that article where we said that Elon Musk is wrong about like almost everything? So that's not going to happen.
SpaceX's got, I mean, you just said they have 8 billion revenue, 18 billion revenue, but Anthropic's is 48 billion. So more than double the revenue and less valuation, an actual product that everybody uses and talks about.
Yeah.
It's like the financial world just doesn't make any sense anymore.
And remember, most of the products that SpaceX is doing are non-recurring revenue because you're launching rockets into space, whereas Anthropic... Well,
they've got XAI wrapped up into it, so there's that, but nobody's paying for that.
Right.
They've got X in there, but again, nobody's paying for that.
Well, I mean, some people are, but not enough to justify
not
anything.
enough to be meaningful.
Yeah.
Not enough to actually like warrant much of a line item, as it were. So
right.
Yeah, it doesn't. This whole thing just seems.
How long do you think until he merges Tesla into SpaceX?
Not long. I mean, I think he's going to have to at some point and merge them all together into one super giant Voltron mega company.
Voltron. Was it Voltron? Yeah. I was about to say Megatron. No, Megatron's the Transformer.
No, you don't want Megatron. Megatron's just one robot. You want Voltron.
You're right. Voltron.
Different cats into the thing. Yeah.
Different cats.
They were cats.
I know they were cats. It's just funny that you're remembering exactly what they are. Like I remember it too, but yeah.
Have you not seen? Well, I mean, I'm not only remembering, but there's the remake on Netflix that I've watched in the last 15 years with my kids too, and the remake was pretty good.
Really?
So, I mean, yeah.
Well, if you remember, at Prototype Prime, we had the robot wall, and Voltron was one of the robots.
Yes.
On the wall.
So you should know that it's made of cats. That's what I'm.
Well, I mean, it's all combined in that graffiti art. It wasn't separate cats, so
you can see the. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah. The listeners are like, "What are they even talking about?"
Stop talking about that. Move on to the next article.
Yeah, you nerds. Move on. Yeah. Here's something else nerdy. WWDC, which stands for the whatever Worldwide Developers Conference. That's actually what it is. 2026. Siri AI, iOS 27, and Apple Intelligence Okay, you're the Apple guy looking at all this stuff. Well, let me tell you the next one too. Apple partnering with Google and NVIDIA for advanced AI model. And we'll leave the next one because it's a different thing. But
let me just summarize this for you. And this
yeah,
is pretty good.
What are you excited about out of this?
They're gonna improve the operating system.
Yeah.
And they're gonna finally, to some degree, deliver on the Apple Intelligence promise from a year and a half ago. Like, that's pretty much the summary right there, which is fine. Like, I'm fine with both of those things. Like, I don't need anything, or I'm good. That's fine.
I think my new scale of like promises and mispromises are now on a scale of 0. You got it exactly right. You delivered when you said it was, to Muskian. And so basically it's like 100 years from now is when you actually delivered it from when you promised it. That's the Muskian level. And so I would call this like a 2.3 or so on the Muskian level, right? So
that's fair.
I don't think it's that bad, right? Like it just took them a little time. And they've been distracted because they were trying to do their car thing at some point, and they were doing like all these other things.
Then they got distracted with the whole like Apple Vision Pro.
Oh yeah, that was. And, like, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, just hone in, man. Like, just do your thing. And they did the whole Apple thing where they're like iterating to make the experience, slightly better on their devices, which is great and important. And then they'll eventually get to the next big thing, which is fine. So, it was fine. It wasn't like earth shattering, but it was good.
So the other big thing that did happen, though, this was Tim Cook's last WWDC, right? Because
that's true.
He's on his way out. And good for him. He was at the helm for a long, long time. I think, personally,
he did a great job.
I don't use any Apple products, but I think he's done a great job for the company, for the shareholders, and for his users. What do you think happens next, like with this new change in leadership? So the new person that's going in comes from the hardware division.
Yeah.
Are you worried? What do you think?
Well, I think so. There's two things that I think are going to come out of Apple. Two, maybe three hardwares that are about to come out.
Okay.
So one is they're for sure going to release a foldable phone within the next 6 months, probably in September. They're going to release a foldable phone.
You think that's okay?
And it will be, it'll be the most well executed foldable phone, because that's what they do. They lag behind 100%. By years, and then they execute like magic, right? So that's what they'll do. It'll be great. It'll be my next phone for sure at some point, but it'll be wildly expensive, I'm certain. So
what do you think? What are you guessing? 1,500?
I'm guessing $2,000.
$2,000
for the phone. Yeah, I think because it's going to be your phone and your tablet, so I think it's going to be $2,000 for it.
Yeah.
I think they're also there's rumors that they're possibly considering like some kind of AI pen, like we've seen before, like the kind that like records everything.
Right.
So you can be like, wait, what did my wife say to me about the grocery list? And it'll like tell you, like, I think that's a possibility if those kind of come in vogue. And I think there's also a strong probability they're going to have glasses at some point that have some degree of augmented reality to them. I do think, and we'll talk about this in a minute, I think there is, I perceive a movement away from screens, not just devices, but screens in particular. And so I think the AI pen plays into that nicely, and to some degree, Apple glasses could play into that nicely. So I think I think there's gonna be a big hardware focus, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah. I'm wondering if this is like the next big wave for Apple, like this huge push into hardware. I think what we're seeing, and you and I have talked about this a lot on the podcast as well as off, is that with all of this AI push, it's becoming easier and easier to write software. You've talked about it a lot with using Lovable and other tools like that. I think hardware is still the place where it's hard to do things. And I think the value in a lot of companies is going to come out of those things that are much harder to do. And so I think the fact that they've got somebody that comes from the hardware division as CEO now of Apple, I think it bodes really well for them as a company. And I wouldn't be surprised kind of, if they become the first $10 trillion company or something, because they're already over $1 trillion, right? I think they're over one and something like,
Yeah. It's and the iPhone was a huge, the iPod, I think, was a huge hardware innovation.
Yeah.
iPhone was a big hardware innovation. I think they're looking for their next device that will be that same level of hardware. And I think they're due for it as well.
Yeah.
And if there is a company that's historically done that well, it is Apple.
Yeah.
even if they're iterations on things that, I mean, because the iPhone was an iteration on the BlackBerry, the iPod was an iteration on other things that came before it. They just made it magical, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
which I'm here for.
Yeah.
I'm here for
so
it.
speaking about magical, I think this is magical. Go ahead.
Yeah, Apple partnering with Google and NVIDIA.
No, we already said that.
Not that one. Hold on.
Not the next
Apple's
one.
weird anti-nausea dots cured my car sickness. That's the one. Yeah.
So do you use this? Have you used this?
I have never used it. I read about it years ago, but didn't realize. So what do you want to describe it?
Yeah. So basically what they've done, and I just read about this, I didn't know this existed. What they've done is that when you're in a car, there are dots that appear on the screen that move in the same way as the car. And that visual cue prevents you from getting car sick and nausea while you're looking at your phone.
Yep.
And based on all the reports,
my wife, she's gonna love it. We got a car trip coming up, and I'm gonna be like, listen, we need to turn this on. Accessibility. You're gonna love this.
This is brilliant. Like, honestly, we go on
talking about those glasses that do it before with the liquid in your peripheral vision. This is that, but on the screen.
On the screen, and you can turn it on and off. And honestly, I know I make a lot of fun where Apple just steals all the innovations from everybody else and gives look at this brand new thing we did. Like, dude, Google, Android, you need to steal this innovation because I need this in my phone.
I love it.
I will not be, ashamed about it. I will gladly say Apple came up with it.
Apple
you stole
did it. It was
I'm
an
okay
Apple
with
thing.
it. If that means I get less car sick in the car, I'm in.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Next up, we were kind of teasing this about kind of the vision stuff. Snap, those Snapchat people, they unveil specs that are $2,195. Specs that are AR glasses. What do you think about the way they look? Because I know what I think.
I think that they are making the exact same mistake that Google Glass made, which is fashion first. And
they look doofy.
They're horrendous looking. And they will absolutely never sell any for that. For that reason,
$2,000.
Yeah, well, there are plenty of people that'll blow $2,000 on something. There's tons of people with too much money out there.
But regular people are not going to blow $2,000 on something that makes them look like a doof.
No, they're terrible looking. Now, and I didn't even really get into their functionality or like tech specs or anything. I looked at them and I'm like, okay,
I'm out.
Never going to sell. I do think it's fascinating that a social media company that really relies on the phone for its entire audience is trying to produce something that's I guess Meta's done the same thing in all fairness, but it is fascinating that those are the companies that are pushing that forward because they rely on screen so much and that they realize that we're in a screen. I think we're in a screen reducing era where there's backlash against screens and it's going to go, I think screen time is going to go perpetually down for a time until things sort of level out. And it's just a matter, I've seen that in myself as well.
Yeah.
In fact, it's related to my tech rec for today as well. So, because I'm using this tech rec for less screen time. So it's,
And I think we've seen that with more and more kind of like Gen Z folks that are more going towards flip phones. We've had so many articles
flip
where
phone,
we talked
analog,
about
real books.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Offline stuff, which great. Yes. Do that.
Yes.
I think that's better for you. I think the boredom and creativity, like all of that stems from that kind of stuff.
Well, and I think like societal wise, like it makes sense, right? Because the internet comes along and then suddenly we've gone, and computers, personal computers even come along for us. And we've suddenly gone from there's no opportunity for screens to there's some opportunity for screens to your entire world and work relies on a screen to now your entire social strata and every social interaction in all of your relationships other than the people you live with rely on a screen. But then we've got generations that have grown up within that and recognize the flaws and the problems in that. And so they're starting to go off screens. So again, I think the pendulum swings one way, it swings back the other, and then somewhere it lands in the middle where people have like an actual healthy relationship with screens. Essentially.
Somebody was telling me that like some of these newer generations too, they're now, there's a pushback against dating apps and they're trying to find people to date the old ways, which is like you go out to places and you go to bars, you go to whatever, you go do events and you meet people that way. Like just the random serendipity of life
Yes.
rather than being all algorithmic and whatnot. So
which I
I
think
like
has
it.
its benefits and also has its repercussions too.
Yeah, I mean,
yes, it's hard to say on that one, but yeah, I get
like
it. I get it.
I think
Yeah.
it tunes you better to figuring out what you like and what you don't like, and being able to
rather than being told.
deal with people.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest, most important skills in life is like how to interact with people. And if you're just doing it behind an app, like you're not learning all of that stuff. So
that's right. Well, and if you're just optimizing your profile with fake crap for an app, you're not learning. I mean, like, come on, like you can be fake crap in a bar. Don't be fake crap on the app. You know, like that's how you do it. So anyway,
there you go.
Yeah. Next up, world first therapy to make cells young again, trialed in a person, but not just in a person, in their eye to treat glaucoma. Which that part feels terrifying to me, but the rest of it I kind of love. So
I don't really need to know the details of how you do this in the eye, but I do kind of love it. Like, and they said that this might be able to be used in other organs to make them younger again too. I'm like, oh yeah. Let me do that. I want that.
You know, this reminded me of there's that tech bro, super rich guy that's like obsessed with never dying, and he's like the super optimizes his health guy. I can't remember his name, but I was like, yeah, this is what he's been predicting the whole time. We're gonna reverse the aging of cells and all this stuff, and like, and not to be like super sci-fi about it, but I can see that being a possibility. It doesn't feel probable to me, but it certainly seems like it is a possibility at this point.
Don't you think?
Mildly terrifying.
Like, okay, so the body you can then make young again, but the brain is still what it is, right? Like there's a limit to the capacity of the brain. That's true. If you live to, you know, and I don't know if you feel this, but I already feel this. Like it's harder. Like you remember things when you were a kid. And I was talking to somebody about this just the other day. As you get older, things you don't remember as well, because as a percentage of your life, as you get older, they're a smaller percentage of your life than when you were a kid, right? Something big happens when you're a kid, you remember it forever because as a percentage of your life, it was a huge percentage of your life at that point.
Right.
If we get to like 150, 200, 250, are you going to remember things that happened to you 200 years ago? Like,
probably not.
I don't know that the brain can handle that kind of.
I also wonder, have you ever been in like those have you ever been in like a coffee meeting or even on a Zoom meeting? And like, you kind of like do the networking meeting and how are you? How are the kids?
Right.
And then like you hit a point in the meeting where you sort of know it's over because every meeting you've had has been that specific amount of time. And so your brain sort of knows, and then you look at your clock and like, yep, it's been almost exactly an hour, or yep, it's been like, has that ever happened to you?
Yeah.
Like I almost wonder if life is a similar feeling where it's like, okay, I've done the things, I've got the kids or the whatever. I mean, not everybody has kids, but I've got the things, I've done the things, I got the stuff.
I did all the things I wanted to.
Yeah, like I would imagine there's got to come a point where that's the feeling that comes over you, and then you're like, I'm good, you know, like I'm fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea, but I do think it's fascinating.
It is interesting. To your point, like the certain times where I've been in meetings with people or just met up with people, and then you look up and it's like, oh my God, it's been 2 hours or 3 hours, and it felt like nothing. It's like
that's only happened to me a handful of times,
but those
very, very few.
Those
times.
are like, oh, this was a really good kind of experience and conversation. Like, I'm gonna hang on to you. Like that. Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that was not our first couple of coffees together. I can tell you that right now. So.
What do you mean?
Oh,
I was tortured.
I feel like it took us a while to get rolling.
It did.
You know, that's fine. That's all I mean.
Yeah,
that's all I mean. But that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
It did. Definitely the first handful of episodes that we did Tech Talk Y'all that never got released.
Yeah, those were fine.
Those were rough.
But, not nearly as much laughter in those first few.
No, because we
did coffee meetings for that.
We didn't know what we were doing. So
no, never do.
But somebody that might know what they're doing, it remains to be seen if they do or not, is Midjourney. Midjourney, I'm assuming this is me now. I don't remember now.
Yes.
Okay. Midjourney goes from cat images to full body ultrasound scans. So Midjourney, if you remember, this is a company that does AI image generation. Out of nowhere, they have announced that they are working on full body ultrasound scans that take 60 seconds.
60 seconds
to do a full body. And they're going to release the first version in a spa-like setting in San Francisco by the end of 2027, next year. Don't know where they line up on the Musk level, on the Musk scale. Hopefully it's a 0. Hopefully it does get there at that time. But it's super, super interesting. So I don't know if you've looked at it, but there's companies like Pronova and Ezra that do full body MRI scans.
Man, I ain't looked at that stuff. I ain't got that kind of time.
And so they do this, and I know a bunch of people that have done this. And so they do full body scans, and to figure out like if you've got problems, those services really say that you need to do multiple scans over time, because then they can start comparing and see what's changing and be able to detect things that might be, not ideal. But they take like you're in the machine for like an hour. And if this thing is doing it in 60 seconds, presumably it's a lot cheaper. And then that means a lot more people can do them. And then over time, you can do them more frequently and be able to detect things. So it's interesting. It remains to be seen if they can actually pull it off. But if they can, I think it's a big deal.
I like it. Yeah. I mean, I'll go to the spa. No, well, I probably won't.
Should we should try to figure out how you and I can be quote unquote journalists. Because everybody knows that's not true.
Let's get sponsorships to go to the spa
and get them to give us free treatment. And we'll, have them fly us out to San Francisco, and we'll do an episode of Tech Talk Y'all inside of the tank where you get ultrasound.
Dude, that's the dream right there.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Time for the Weird and Wacky segment.
Abominable snowman.
He's not an axe murderer.
One of the TAs turned out to be a bot.
I'm going to let you introduce this one because this is for sure your tag. I would never have tagged this
100%
ever,
it's my
and
tag.
I don't think I've ever consumed this either.
What? You have never had one of these?
Not from this particular restaurant, no, but please continue.
You have led a very poor childhood, my friend. I do not understand. I'm going to have a discussion with your parents.
You should do
be
that.
like, what?
Yes. You should.
How could you have
get on
ruined
to them
Adam
about
like
my
this?
lack of McDonald's connoisseurness? Yes,
Yeah.
I made that word up. Connoisseurness.
So for those McDonald's connoisseurness people out there, McDonald's is bringing back the fried apple pie for America's 250th. So the fried apple pie existed in this country until about 30 years ago, when they decided to go quote unquote healthy. And give us only the baked version of the apple pie. But
I'm sorry, did you just define McDonald's as going healthy? Is that what you just said?
That's their reasoning of why they went to the baked apple pie, was because of healthy reasons. Even though the baked version had 10 more calories than the fried version. And the fried version they continue to sell in Europe and a bunch of other places. So I have consumed the fried version when I've traveled every now and again.
Recently? Have you done it recently? Have you had one? Have you had one since it came back out? That's what I need to know.
I haven't had one here in the U.S. Since it came back out, but it's going to happen. It's probably been about 5 or 6 years since I've had a fried one outside of the U.S. Don't have them that often because honestly, they're not so good for you. But I will say they taste phenomenal.
They taste amazing.
Because the filling is so hot and you always end up eating it before it cools down.
It's like molten lava in your mouth. I've had similar pies, so I do understand.
Not just in your mouth. It hits your lips and down your chin, and it burns like the skin off, and it's wonderful.
It burns the skin off, but it's delicious. I love it.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. So good on you, McDonald's, for bringing back a classic American fried apple pie back to store. So I don't know how long it's around for, but it's here now.
I should have read that first one because I don't like all the names in this one. So Hinkle adhesive helps complete the Sagrada Familia's towers. I'm not exactly sure I understood all of that, but apparently it's like some major tower, and they used a bunch of like adhesive to glue like stone and metal. What? Like,
how do you not know any of this stuff?
I don't know any of this stuff. I don't know. I'm apparently sheltered. I don't know what's happening.
I have to have another discussion with your parents. Sagrada Familia is the big cathedral in Barcelona.
Is that the one that's been being built for like 250 years or something like that one?
For a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Hinkle adhesive has been around for over 100 years, and they make Loctite. Do you know Loctite?
Yeah.
You do know Loctite, right? Yeah. So that's the stuff you put on screws when you're screwing them in so they don't like wiggle out.
Locks them.
And stuff. They use tons of adhesive from Hinkle, Loctite adhesive, to complete the Sagrada Familia cathedral there. So
That's hilarious.
I found it just fascinating because, first of all, the cathedral was designed, like you said, like 200 years ago. They didn't have these adhesives back then. Like, this was not a thing. Like, what was the plan of how to build this thing?
Tree sap. Tree sap was the plan.
Tree sap.
Everybody knows tree sap is just as good as super glue. Everybody knows that. So
Just
well,
stick some tree sap
it's actually a mixture of tree sap and honey. That's the gold. You got to get the golden ratio mixture of tree sap.
Oh,
and
that's
honey.
what the gold ratio is. It's not
9
like
to 1.
It's not
It's
like
9 to 1
mathematics and
golden.
stuff. It's
No.
tree
It's
sap and honey.
obviously
Oh, got
it's
it.
related to tree sap and honey.
So then, if you get
that's-
hungry, you can just lick it.
It's golden like honey and tree like that. Yeah, see, that's why it's called the golden
Really?
ratio. Did you not know
Oh,
this?
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm being dumb about this. Yeah.
Tech wreck, time to get your tech wreck.
Tech, right? Chicky.
Tech wreck, time to get your tech wreck.
All right, Sanjay, tech rec time. What do you have for us this week?
So I've got a little bit of a different thing. It's a service called Charity Vest. I've been using it for a while. Basically, what this lets you do is set up a donor advised fund. If you don't know what a donor advised fund is, it's a way to make a donation into a fund and write it off from your taxes immediately. Potentially invest that money if you want to inside of the fund, and then over time make donations to charities that you like and support. So we've had a very small donor advised fund with Charity Vest for a long time. I really like them as a company. They actually started out as an Atlanta-based startup, and they were acquired some years ago. But I think they do a great job. So instead of panicking at the end of the year when you're like, oh, wait, I need to do some charitable deductions, maybe right now you should go and set up your Charity Vest account. And it's super simple. Everything's online. If you use the link in the show notes, you get, I think, 3 months managed for free, where you don't have to pay the administration fee. If you do the Charity Vest thing and don't invest the money, then you don't have to pay anything. But you really, if you're putting in even a little bit of money, you should probably do the investment part of it, because the money can honestly grow and nobody pays taxes on that money. And then you can just keep donating out of that. So it's actually a win-win in terms of what you're trying to accomplish. So check it out. I'm a big fan. It works really well. It's called Charity Vest. And like I said, show note links in the show notes. What about you, Adam? What do you got for us this week?
Something very different. I'm going to recommend a new pen that I got, which is a nice pocket pen. It's the Refine. So it's spelled REFYN. Refine. I think it's the EC1 pen. And so you can see right here, it is a bolt action. There it is. It finally focused. It's a bolt action pen. So you just like have in your pocket, bolt action.
What is it? What does that mean? Bolt action? Oh, that little.
It's that little bolt is the thing that clicks it out, clicks it back in, and it's like a little it's a nice like little fidget in your hand sort of thing, which is nice too. But it writes great and it's small. I mean, it's not much larger than the size of my palm,
right?
So it fits in my pocket great, and I've been using it with my field notes or my rip-off field notes, my field book notebook, and again, like that goes back to the whole like less screens. So like when I think of something that I need to do or a note, I just grab my pen, I write it down, rather than pull out my phone and then it gets kind of lost in an app, but then I'm in my screen, then I'm looking at notifications, the whole thing.
Yep.
So I'm carrying a notebook, I'm carrying this pen everywhere I go, and it's been fantastic.
Yeah,
so
I like that.
really enjoying that
how is that size in relation to your wallet?
In relation to my wallet, let me see if I've got I've got like an Apple wallet here, and that's like kind of Apple wallet. So there you go. Like if that, yeah. So it's not much bigger. And if you look at it compared to like a field notebook, if you use field notes, like this, so I just kind of, it's nice because I mean I just strap
hook
it
on there,
like, it's just there all the time. So so this is my kind of my daily carry right there, which has been really nice.
I didn't know there were rip-off field notes books.
Yeah, I get these on Amazon, and it's Field Book, which is a rip-off of Field Notes.
I got Field Notes. So, I don't know where I got this. I think somebody gave it to me.
Field Notes are great. Yeah, absolutely. And then, and they also sell their own version of notebook, which I also have and still in the plastic here because, and I haven't even opened it up here yet. Maybe this will be a future tech rec, but I got this because I needed something extra to get free shipping. And well, so here's their notebook version, which is also pretty nice. So
that's how they got you.
Yeah. And the refine.com there. So yeah, it's good little setup.
I like it.
All right, Sanjay, how can our listeners find and connect with you?
They can find me at sanjaypark.com. What about you, Adam?
They can find me looking for outro music is where they can find me right now. They can find me.
Not hearing it.
You're
There it
now.
is.
They can find me at adamjwalker.com, where I have not updated in quite some time, and I still need to. So I don't know, it'll become a priority one of these days. So.
Did you, by the way, watch my performance on the 1% Club?
Man, I have not got a chance to do that. Was it on? It said it was on CBS, right? So
No,
is
Fox.
it on Hulu?
Fox.
On Fox.
It's on
Is
Hulu,
it on Hulu
now.
then?
Yeah.
All right, I gotta go.
didn't win.
That might
either
be an
time.
Friday afternoon thing for me.
Got out on the 35% question both times.
Gotcha.
Bummer.
Bummer. Dun, dun, dun.